Ms. Maria, in search of a place to work, and also stay safe, found herself working in a hotel that serves as a guest house for vampires, a situation she never planned for. She was in dilemma, whether to quit and be unsafe outside or continue working with vampires after her discovery. How did she get herself into this? Will she quit or cope? We are about to find out. Arriving at Denver's central bank based on full recommendation from Mr. Barlow to get a jewelry box belonging to him, which was kept in a VIP safe in the bank. She is charged not to open the box. What could be inside? She asked. Curiosity got the best of her, and she shakes the box hoping to hear something, but to her dismay couldn't hear anything. At last she is able to get hold of herself, put the box in her bag and strides home, as her mission has been completed. Getting home and finding the house so dark at just 7, she wonders why is there a blackout. She tried switching on the lights, but it wasn't responding. Everything is silent. Ms. Maria is beginning to be afraid, still trying to comport herself. She heard bang. Is that a gunshot? She shivered. Is robbery going on now? She asks herself, many scary thoughts running around her mind. What should I do? Oh my God. My phone's off. Not now please, she exclaimed. Trembling, she tripped and fell while trying to run out of the house. Coming face to face with Mildred's body, moving away she saw other bodies. Ms. Maria is very frightened. She hears faint voices from her hideout. The robbers were definitely searching for something. They couldn't find it and were curious on where it will be. What could that be? A box decorated with red jewels. The robbers Haven searched everywhere and couldn't find it, concluded that it will be with one person who wasn't among the people that were at home. Who could that be? You guessed right, find her right now, a voice echoed. Ms. Maria, still buried in shock after she witnessed the corpse of her housemates, tries to wash the blood stains off her body. She is frightened. Those killers are probably looking for me, she thought. Everyone's dead because of this box. Anger welled in her. But she has to stay safe, at least to find out why people should get killed because of a tiny jewelry box. She sat there with mixed feelings of hate, sorrow, anger, fear and determination. Determined to find out the reason, Ms. Maria disguised herself in order to throw them off track and decided to move out of the town before she would get caught by the killers. She arrived Vale Town to seek solace, taking up a new name, Sheridan. She decided to take a job in a cafe, as the money she had on won't be enough to sustain her. To her utmost despair, she can't be hired without an ID. There and then she knew that no one would employ her without an ID. She left the cafe dejectedly, and bumped into a strange lady at the door who offers her a job in a hotel, a place where all due protocols are not observed. Ms. Maria, or should we say Sheridan, is skeptical, but have no other choice than to accept the offer. She needed money to keep body and soul together, and she also needs to stay safe and hidden. She arrives at the hotel the next day. After telling the receptionist her mission, she is shown the way up to see the boss. On her way up she saw two ladies with the same wounds on their necks. This is weird, she thought. She felt something wasn't right somewhere, but she can't conclude. She must find out. Bump. She ran into a young man, tripped and nearly fell off the steps, but was held strong grip of the man. Sheridan meets with Hunter, who happened to be the owner of the hotel. She was shocked to know that the owner of this magnificent hotel is that young. She feels comfortable now, at least he doesn't look dangerous. She gets the job as an assistant to Mr. Hunter. She is happy. She can now earn money to keep herself running. Unknown to her that the hotel is not ordinary, until the day she sees something not of this world. She is confused. Should I take this job? Am I safe here? I'm on the run. Can I get another job outside in disguise? She asked herself. Sheridan decides to take the job, after being reassured of her safety by Mr. Hunter, both from the killers she is fleeing from and the vampires in the hotel. Sheridan's now working in a vampire hotel. After paperwork had been done within Mr. Hunter's office, Sheridan is introduced to the other staffs: Marco, the head bartender, T.Y. Hunter's secretary, Aubrey Hunter's second secretary that deals with outfield works, and lastly Soraya, the cook. They had a nice evening, drinking and eating. Sheridan feels welcomed, Everyone is nice. I think I made the right choice, she tells herself. Keeping the box safe is her priority. And this seems like a safe place for now. Retired to the bed tired, after she is shown her room by Marco, she slept off peacefully, hoping all what had transpired within the last few days was a nightmare. She wants to live her normal life. How long can she keep hiding her identity? Awoken the next morning by Ty, she heard something, she froze. Did she just hear her real name? How did Ty get to know that name? Does he knows that she is on the run in disguise? Sheridan discovered that her secret is known. She is scared. She has to run. How many of them know my true identity? She asked herself. She needs a safer place to stay. She is supposed to start work today, but she knows she is not safe here. She packed up her things and was on the verge of escaping before she is caught by Mr. Hunter, who explains that he means no harm. He tells her that they all know her story and are trying to protect her. She was shocked to hear Mr. Barlow, her former boss, was a friend of theirs and helped them a lot while he was alive. He went further to say that they heard the news of the death and had to protect her since she is like family to me. Barlow. She was shocked to hear this news. Could he be lying? She asked herself. After much debating in her mind, she decided to believe his story. Stay and work. Subsequently she hatched a second escape plan in case she discovered that he is lying. She went on with her day's work. After the day's work at 6, Sheridan went to the bar to get some drink, as instructed by Mr. Hunter, only to discover the place is quiet. Only to be crept on by Marco, obviously in his vampire mood. She is shocked, nearly dropped a drink, but was helped by him. He seemed nice and offered to help her seek vengeance on the killers of her former employer, who she took as family. Would she accept? Does she really wants the killers dead? Let's find out. Sheridan drinks while conversing with Marco at the bar, who offered to change her into a vampire, so that she will be strong enough to seek vengeance. At first she fancies the idea of being a vampire, but thought better of it after hearing the precaution. Marco tells her that he's aware of what transpired in the morning, that he also knows her story, assuring her of her safety in the hotel. Embarrassed, Sheridan drinks more than her body can take in order to forget everything. She gets tipsy and angry with Hunter when she heard he is the strongest of all the vampires. Why would he let her family be killed? Why didn't he protect them? When they were close and Mr. Barlow had once helped him. Anger welled in her as she staggered her way to Hunter's room, venting her anger and frustration on him. Hunter discovers that she had a lot to drink, and before he could know she passed out. She wakes up from her bed because of the sound of her phone ringing. She checked her time, and it was 4 a.m. How did I get here? Slowly the occurrence of what transpired the previous night slowing coming to her. Oh my God. What did I do? He's the owner of the hotel. Will I get fired? She asked herself. Going back to the phone, her eyes couldn't believe the name she saw. Kenzie. She thought everyone died in the robbery. Oh, she remembered. One person was rumored to have survived. She didn't see Kenzie's body that day. She picked the call gingerly. As she looked at her phone undecided, the memory of how she met Kenzie came to her mind. Kenzie was introduced by Mr. Barlow as a student on holiday, who was just helping with some house chores. Maria and Kenzie got along, with Maria teaching her a lot of things. She got to find out that Kenzie lost both her parents and vowed to always protect her. Bringing her back to present, terrified, she picked up the call and heard a frightening voice of Kenzie. She was caught by the killers. Guess what? She's being used as bait to get Maria out of her shell with the box. If losing the box can save my little Kenzie, then yes, she thought. She took the box and ran out to the location given to her by the killers. Determination overrides as she sought to help Kenzie. She didn't consider the advice given to her by Hunter. She didn't consider that they might not allow her leave there alive. All she wants to get Kenzie released. She arrives at the location and behold. There is Kenzie tied to chair. Maria is threatened by one of them, who kills another vampire, because she was interrupted by him. She seemed to be the second in command. Maria is given few minutes to hand over the box, but she requests that her safety and that of Kenzie be guaranteed first. Maria is lifted up by her neck by one of the vampires, wanting to choke her. saying bad things she would do to her if she doesn't hand it over immediately. Maria is trembling. She hadn't thought it would be this hard. The murder that took place a few minutes ago played in her head. Will she die like this? Why didn't I know that this was a trap? Maria is very scared. She gives up, handed the box to her. She's thrown away, and gets her shoulder fractured. The vampire is happy. At last she got what she wanted. To her utmost surprise. The box was the wrong one. Maria had exchanged it and brought something else, a pair of shoes. Maria knew it was a trap. She wasn't going to give out that jewelry box for no reason. She had made a backup plan with Hunter. Outraged, the vampire came to kill Maria, but was stopped by someone appearing. Who could that be? She asked herself. Hunter, she exclaimed frustratingly. The vampires left in shame, as none of them can match Hunter in strength. Maria and Kenzie are taken home by Hunter in a manner that surprised Kenzie. She is astonished. How did you do that? Calm down, Kenzie, he's also a vampire, said Maria. Maria is being given first aid by Hunter and promises to call a doctor for proper treatment. Hunter is so gentle, and this gets Maria thinking a lot. Why is he this nice? Why is he protecting me? All these unanswered questions ran in her mind. Hunter doesn't want Kenzie to stay in the hotel. He proposes a normal one, but Maria has a lot of convincing to do, as she thinks it's not safe to have Kenzie away from her, as she's the only family left. Why does this have to happen? What did we do go deserve all these? Poor girl. Maria laments at the bedside of Kenzie. At night, Kenzie wanders off to a room. She couldn't believe what she saw. Marco and another were making out. She screams. This brings Sheridan and Maria to the scene. She's scared. We're in big trouble, she said. The vampires are angry that Kenzie had spoiled their mood. The VIP is angry. This didn't go down well with Hunter. He is angry with Marco for not locking the door, and Kenzie for wandering about. He reiterates why Kenzie shouldn't be in that hotel, because she won't be able to cope. Sheridan apologizes with Kenzie, stating that she was hungry, that's why she wandered around. But Hunter is determined she can't stay here. I'll move her to a normal hotel. She'll be safe there, he promised. Sheridan won't budge. She is determined to keep Kenzie with her. If Kenzie is leaving, then I'm leaving with her, she said. Hunter is stunned. You can't leave. You're the primary target. They'll get you within a blink if you leave this hotel. This is the only safe place, he said. But he sees that Sheridan is determined to leave. If Kenzie is leaving, he requests that she should drop the box. Maria is shocked. She wasn't aware that Hunter knows about the box. Sheridan can't let either of them go. She has to convince Hunter to let Kenzie stay. No, I can't. That's the only memory I have from Mr. Barlow. I can't leave it behind, she reaffirmed. The argument between Sheridan and Hunter is becoming a heated one, but it's cut short by the ringing of Hunter's phone. He leaves Sheridan. Meanwhile, Kenzie is taken by Soraya in order to be given food. They seem to be getting along, as Soraya tells Kenzie to be careful, not to move about the corridors at night. Kenzie is feeling welcomed and thinks she'll enjoy the place. Sheridan feels she has to convince Hunter to let Kenzie stay. What else will she say? Can Soraya be of help to her? She wondered. She felt bad for Marco, and decides to go and apologize on behalf of Kenzie. Meanwhile, over at the killer's Colette's den, the other vampires plans to take out Hunter in order to gain access to Sheridan and the box. Colette is angry that Hunter is standing on their way. Sheridan walks to Marco's room to apologize. Will he forgive her? Marco accepts her apologies and offered her a drink, making her feel comfortable. Sheridan pleads with Marco to help talk to Hunter on behalf of Kenzie. He said he'll help. Sheridan's curious. She wants to know more about Marco. He tells her a little. He was lonely without family and home until Hunter picked him up and gave him a chance. There and then he discovered that he wasn't the only vampire. There were others, some of which he met at the hotel. Hunter's plan was to build a place where vampires can be safe and also transact with humans who needs their services. That was what brought about the hotel, which of course is serving its purpose for which it was built. Some humans are always in need of vampires' services. Then this hotel served a good purpose. It is practically for business, in as much as it is also a safe house. Sheridan is touched by Marco's sad story, tries to comfort him. this led to Marco offering to let her get first-hand experience of the service offers to humans. The buzz of the clock brought her back to her senses, and she stood up to leave abruptly. Meanwhile, in the other room, Hunter is in a conversation with Aubrey on what next to do. He needs to stop Colette, but he needs approval from their council. He knows Colette won't stop until she gets the box, which will be dangerous. Aubrey is suspicious of Sheridan and Kenzie. She doesn't want them to stay as they are a threat. She's scared that what happened to Mr. Barlow's family might be their fate soon. She is scared. Hunter agrees, but can't let Sheridan leave, as he has to protect her. He feels she's the special one. What does that mean? Sheridan knocks on the door that very moment. Are you looking for me? Hunter asked. Sheridan steps in and Aubrey leaves, not looking a bit happy. Hunter reconsiders his decision and decided to let Kenza stay in the hotel, but on the condition that she won't interfere with their business. Sheridan's happy and thanks him. He asks her questions about Mr. Barlow, and what she knows about the box. Sheridan doesn't know anything. According to her, Mr. Barlow never discussed about the box with her. She asks Hunter to tell her what the box represents, as he's supposed to have better knowledge. Hunter explains the importance of the box to both the vampire and human worlds. The importance of keeping it in a safe hand, because if it falls into a wrong hand like Colette, there will be chaos in the both worlds. Hunter knows that Colette won't stop until she gets what she wants. He wants to keep it safe from her. He asks her the whereabouts of the box, but she leaves without replying. Sheridan knows he's upset. She hasn't seen him in that mood before. She must have upset her with her questions. Subsequently, Sheridan's shoulder heals and she felt better. The hotel is organizing a banquet that holds yearly. This is the banquet where VIP clients are selected and a whole lot of other things. This morning will be filled with duties, as she's to move around with Mr. Carter, the banquet manager, who came earlier than usual. Sheridan's ready for it. She meets Carter, who's nice to her. While performing her duties, something caught her sight: Marco carrying someone. Oh God, that's Kenzie. How can she be drunk at this time of the day? She ran towards Marco. She's scared that if Hunter gets to find out that she couldn't keep her promise of keeping Kenzie indoors, he'll be angry and throw them out of the hotel. She didn't want that to happen. They successfully and hurriedly take Kenzie away from the hall. Unknown to them, Hunter have seen them from the camera room. He is furious. With Kenzie safe inside, Marco and Sheridan heave sighs of relief. That was close. Marco is attracted to Sheridan and comes too close. Sheridan's alert. She wonders what's in Marco's mind. She's scared. She's also kind of liking it. She finds Marco attractive too, but he's a vampire. She has to be careful. Marco senses her reluctant behavior and decides to let her be. Sheridan's curious. Are all vampires this way? She asks. Marco replies that vampires have feelings like human beings do, but he advises her to be careful with vampires, as some of them are dangerous, and since they have more power than humans, they can successfully overpower them. Sheridan decides to go back to the event, but notices something: her piece of clothing. She's suspicious. She asks Marco to go back, while she ran back to her room to confirm her fears. She's right, someone had entered her room and tried to remove the box from the safe. Who could that be? Could it be Hunter? He's the only one that knows about the box. Was one of Colette's minion here? All these questions raced through her mind. Who tried to steal the box? We are about to find out. Sheridan is furious. She feels she's not safe here. Neither is the box. She has to get it somewhere safe. Sheridan opens the safe, relieved that the box is still intact. She puts the box in her bag, thinking that it will be more safer with her than any other place since her room is in danger. She steps out and finds Ty, who tells her that the manager is looking for her. She walks to look for him, but couldn't find him where she was told he'll be. She sees an abandoned building behind and decides to hide the box in one of the safe. It would be safer here than with me, she assured herself. Right there, Sheridan sees Hunter leaving the premise with Aubrey. She begins to get funny thoughts about their relationship, but she shoves it out of her mind. If you're eager for the next chapter, drop a comment expressing your interest in a part 2. Your comments help gauge the demand for the continuation of the story. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Until next time, farewell.